Interior Gray with the Eagles News Network. Joining me today is Ms. Beckham. How are you?
I'm doing well, and you?
I'm good. I wanted to ask, what is Starward Stem?
Well, about 4 years ago, we received a grant with the Department of Defense and RTI in Cumberland County, and the Starward Stem program is actually based on finding ways to find experiments that can help astronauts' lives. And the coolest thing is, every year, 3 experiments are actually sent to the International Space Station.
Do the children get the field trip there?
Well, actually, they don't get to go to the International Space Station, but all 3 winning teams get to go down to Kennedy Space Center. And I know in the last 2 years, they've actually been able to see rockets actually launched. Unfortunately, it's not theirs, but we often send them to to Fayetteville State Planetarium, so they can actually watch their experience go up into space.
How are the finalists selected?
Well, what happens is the students actually have to create a proposal, and the focus is on how to help astronauts or how to live on Mars or actually on the moon. So what they do is, after they have their presentation, we submit it, and they have a pool of judges. You normally have 3 different judges who judge you, and then the top teams actually get to go on. Normally it's 3, but this year Douglasville High School actually has 5 finalists.
How do students get into it, get into the program?
So what it is, it's really not really about a student initially. It's about getting our teachers involved. So a few years ago, we actually went over to ERC and actually were trained how to do project-based learning, and also it gave us some ideas of how to actually implement the actual design challenge into our classes. And so Ms. Romer, I think, has actually done this for the last 4 years. I know Ms. Ramirez did that with her students last year, and also Ms. Renfro has. So once the teacher goes through the training, then we just encourage them to at least get 1 or 2 students. We've been very fortunate. This year we actually submitted 13 different projects with 5 becoming finalists. I think last year we submitted 19.
How does this program help students?
Well, one of the things, it actually really helps you to understand the scientific method, because they actually have to come up with something they can test. They have to design their own experiment, and they also have to realize that the mixed stick is only about this big, and it's about the width of my finger, and whatever they're testing has to fit inside of it. So this year we have juice box. They're looking at fermentation, so they're going to be putting yeast and apple juice in theirs. And then there's another one that is actually the marbles. They're looking at the concept of rusting, and they're actually putting copper and I think it's aluminum marbles in there. So it's sort of a wide range of different things that we can actually test.
Well, that's all the questions I have for you today. Join us on Thursdays for the Starward Stem in the gym from 4 to 7.